life with us, making it exactly the way he wanted it to be. Literally every stone, every piece of mulch. If you were lucky enough to watch him sit outside and vacuum the mulch out of the rocks, that was a real life experience. He would love the fact that we have all come to this place to share it, and he would want you to enjoy it. And this backyard was really his spot. This is where he spent the most time. And it's funny because we always knew where to find him. He was always sitting at this table in a chair, watching some sporting event, even if it was a cornhole tournament on ESPN 8 The Ocho, drinking a Moscow Mule with an open seat, waiting for you to come sit down, to share a story, to share a laugh. We will miss you, Dad. We will love you more than any words could ever describe. Whenever you want to talk to us, you just let us know. And we'll pour ourselves a mule, and we'll come out to your table and sit down with a story ready to tell you. We love you. You're here.
Hey.
Okay, well, in true McDowell fashion, I also would like to say something because we talk a lot. I'd like to echo what TR said. So can I talk you into holding my Mac mule? Thank you everybody for being here. We've got people showing us love and support, all week. That has been unbelievable, and it's really what has enabled us to stand up here and have some semblance of some kind of positive feeling about this, because my dad would tell you that we need to get together in something like this and talk about what we did. Anytime you lose someone, it's human nature to start regretting and start talking about the things that you didn't do. And I'd just tell you, he would stomp that out right away, and he would want us to all talk about what we did. So thank you all for helping us with that by being here. Thank you for what you've done this week, and thank you for what you will do when we call upon you for more help and more support. And we're not sure what that is yet, but it's probably coming. We mentioned in the communications that we sent out that we're planning on getting together in March, so thank you for that too, because he would think that was pretty darn special. So I wanted to tell everybody some things about my dad. And the beauty of my dad is that most of the things I'm going to tell you already know, because you didn't get to spend any time with my dad without him telling you exactly what he thought and exactly how he felt. But I'm going to say some things, and I hope that everyone lets them sink in a little bit. So my dad could fix anything, and I always remember anytime, and many of you were probably the same, anytime something would break, something didn't work right, something went wrong, I would call my dad to find out how to fix it. And that's why I'm struggling so much this week, because my heart is broken and I can't call him to find out how to fix it. And I've reflected on that a lot since I heard the news, and I've been able to come to this point of peace, and I just wanted to share that with everybody, that my dad has already given me all the tools and all the lessons that I need to get through this. And my hope is that I can share them all with you, and once again, Mac can help us fix something that's broken. So, here goes. Here's some Mac lessons for everyone. So my dad was a leader. A leader has to know the way, they have to show the way, and they have to go the way. And my dad always did those things. He cast a vision for our family, and that was family first. And that was so important to him. And you are all in his family, and we thank you so much for being here. So we're going to continue to focus on his vision and continue to execute it. My dad led with his amazing work ethic. I've never met another human being that had the work ethic that my dad did. He earned every centimeter of everything he ever got in his life by working hard. And he never quit anything. He literally never quit anything. I don't even know if he ever had an incomplete project or anything along those lines. My dad protected and he guarded. He protected his wife, he protected his kids, and he protected his friends with all of his being. And on occasion, he would even question a little bit. My dad was famous for the way he would teach lessons, and he would give you a lot of rope. And when you failed, he was the first one there to reel it back in and to pick you up and to sit down and talk about it with you. And he'd often ask you what you were thinking when you made the decisions that caused you to fail. And then he would probably pretty bluntly tell you where you whiffed. And then he would tell you how we were going to fix it. My dad always set the example. Adulthood is often more caught than it is taught. And my dad would often talk about how proud he was of his kids. And he would always say, I don't know what your mom and I did specifically to make you guys so successful. To me, it's pretty simple. They set the right example. Most of the time we followed it.
Had to be the brother.
If you walk around a little bit and you look at the pictures that we've shared, if you go to the Facebook page that we put together and you look at the pictures that are in there, you'll see plenty of examples of my dad setting the example right in the middle of everything that was going on. My dad always gave stability, and he was unbelievably loyal. He was the backbone of our family, and he was the backbone of every relationship that he had. I think it's so amazing how my dad was able to stay so level, and he was able to observe and see things different than anybody else could, and therefore he could provide you advice and recommendations that no one else could. My dad loved. Every person my dad ever met was a 10. He gave you a crown of a 10, but then he expected you to keep it. And I think that's such a beautiful trait. Now, if you did live up to that 10, he would literally drop everything and do anything for you. He would go any distance and he would do anything he could. If you lost his 10, he had a very long memory, I will tell you that. My dad loved so well and he loved so much. The love that a dad gives, it sets the template for their sons and their daughters when they go out into the world and they seek their soulmates. Tiara and I have found these wonderful women who are so incredibly loyal and strong and loving, just like he was. Katie's found a man who loves her just like he did, unconditionally and with his entire heart. And Carrie has found a man who looks just like my dad. Sorry, Raj, love you.
She okayed that joke.
My dad was a very, very proud man. He took so much pride in what he did, in what he built, in what he made. But most of all, he was proud of his wife. He was proud that she chose him. And he asked her why. He was so proud and so overwhelmed. He was proud of his kids. He was proud of their families. He was so proud of his grandson. So thus, though I think he would never say it, he was proud of himself. He was proud of what he did and what he built. He was proud of his name, and he was proud of his word. I love the fact that my dad thought contracts were crap. If he walked up to you and shook your hand and looked you in the eye, it was going to happen. And if you walked up to him and shook his hand and looked him in the eye, it better happen, I can tell you that. As one of his kids, I can tell you that he always told me, if you're going to put my name on something, you better make sure that you do it right. My dad was funny. He brought joy and happiness and humor into everything that he did, into every interaction that he had. He did crack a few inappropriate jokes on occasion, but he told funny stories, like TR said. He never took himself too serious, and he was always ready to dance, and he was always ready to laugh. I think most importantly, though, my dad never forgot. I've never met someone who genuinely listened to everything that you said to him. He would stop and drop everything and listen to what you said, and by God, he remembered every bit of it. And so my hope is that we can all do the following for Mac. I hope we can all lead and work hard and do things in the right way. I hope we can all lean in and protect our loved ones and set the example properly, provide some stability and be loyal, to love unconditionally. Ask yourself, how many 10s do you have in your life right now? Take pride in all you do, stay true to your word, and focus on integrity. Laugh. That's why we're all here today. And to answer phone calls. Laugh and always bring more joy and more happiness into any interaction that you have. And never take yourself too seriously. And listen more than you talk. And then you'll learn to never forget. We'll never forget you, Dad. And I promise that we will use all your lessons to be better tomorrow than we were today.
Yes, here, here.
I'd like to close with a prayer. You're all welcome to stay. We know it's kind of hot, so we bumped up the speech portion of it, but